What's up, everybody? What is up? What is up? How's everybody doing? It's been a little while since we did one of these. This one's just a general yap sesh stream. Actar, what's up? Moss, Gaming Zone, Snailium, Gekdo, Bromis, how you doing? Kid Amnesia, Crawler. How you guys all doing, bro? Kite versus Morel. I lean towards like, well, that's actually a pretty close one. I'd have to think about that. Like that might actually be one that I do as a full-fledged debate. I'd say it's something where they both have win conditions over each other. Kite showed more impressive like attack potency feats, and then Morel just showed like more big brain victory moves. That actually is a very close one. Like if they're in an enclosed space, I think Morel would be slightly more likely to win. And it also just depends on like what ability Kite draws. Like would Morel be able to counter the Scythe in any way? That's actually a really close one. In an enclosed space, Morel can do the like carbon, I think it's carbon monoxide poisoning or carbon dioxide, I forget which is which. That would be close. I don't know who I lean more towards winning that, because like Knuckle is stated to be physically on par with Kite, and like that's still not really a big deal compared to Morel. Maybe I lean more towards Morel. That's kind of like matchup dependent. That's really interesting. Is Kite Chrollo level? I don't think he is personally. I think, man, that's actually so close too. He's really close to him, but I don't think he's on that level. I think he's like slightly above Knuckle and Chew. Like I think Kite and Morel are like in the exact same tier, and then I put Hisoka and Chrollo like slightly above those guys. But how's everybody doing, bro? It's been a nice day today. Before I get into too much power scaling, something I can yap about it more later too. But I just got my blue belt in jiu-jitsu today, bro. It's a very cool, very exciting thing. And I wasn't even planning on going to jiu-jitsu today. It was just a long day today, bro. Kind of a stressful day. Had a lot of stuff I had to get done. And then I just decided to go to jiu-jitsu. It wasn't even something I was planning on doing. But then I was like, yeah, let me just go to jiu-jitsu today. And I went, and after class we were having like our live rolls, and I was rolling with my coach, and he was like, bro, you're getting pretty good, man. How long have you been training again? I was like, I've been training a little more than 2 years now. And he was like, and when did I give you your blue belt? Like, how long ago did I give you your blue belt? I was like, I never got one. He was like, what? And then he just stopped. He stopped the whole class, and he was like, yeah, guys, so I thought I gave this guy his blue belt like a year ago, but my bad on that, bro. And he was like, Lilo, here you go. And then I just walked up and got my blue belt. That was like the funniest way to get a blue belt. And after that, he like talked to me. He was like, yeah, dude, I really thought I gave you your blue belt a year ago. My bad, man. I'm like, oh, no worries. I'm just happy I got it now. So it was just a very happy moment. Crawler said, broken solo Momo now. I showed Momo the blue belt. I got to send these pictures to my mom. Got to send these photos to my mom. She'll like them. But it was just cool. It was a very good moment. Thank you, Actar. Hubboo. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. You said wins black belt. Bro, it'll probably take me like another like 6 years. probably another 6 years, because like our coach says on average it takes about 10 years to get your black belt. You got that whooping after though. After that, I just rolled like one more time with one of the girls in the gym. So I didn't like, it wasn't really like me getting whooped. It was just, it was kind of relaxing. Like against the girls, you don't have to use like strength or anything. So those are just more like technical rolls. But it was a very good time. It was a great class today. Really happy I went there. Let me see these comments. Gaming Zone, you said, do Tompa have Nen, or he survived 3200 exams without Nen? I don't think he has Nen. Like, he was depicted to be really weak. If he had Nen, he like there's a scene where Tonpa had to fight somebody and he immediately gave up, and Killua was like, if you fought that guy, he was just going to like cook you. And he was pretty much a normal human being. So no, Tonpa most likely never knew Nen. Also, they had a line of dialogue where they like listed off everyone who knew Nen in that hunter exams, and it was just Hisoka and Illumi, I think. How's my day going, Womack? It's been a good day, bro. It was a stressful day this morning, but once I got to jiu-jitsu, like my day just improved from there. Kid Insomniac says, what's your thoughts about the Succession War? Are you happy with its progression? It's okay. Like, I think the Succession War, I would like it a lot more if the chapters were like more regular. If they were coming out in a more regular time frame, you know. Cracking the top on this iced tea. Yeah, I mean, if the chapters were coming out like weekly, I would have like a more appreciation for them. But they're just so few and far between that I'm like, it's just all right. I like the stuff that, like, my favorite part about the Succession War so far is seeing Kurapika's abilities, like seeing the steel chain, seeing the dolphin chain, and just seeing Kurapika like big brain his way out of a bunch of situations. I like that a lot. But and I like seeing Serendich learn Nen. That's really interesting. I also like that there's like a building up battle between the Phantom Troupe and Hisoka. That's all interesting. But in my opinion, like every Succession War chapter we've gotten have just been build up chapters so far. Kid Insomniac, you said you're fascinated with the idea of Nen Beast. They are interesting. Well, yeah, that's, I mean, Togashi is just, like, that's what he excels at. He's so good at writing power systems and just, like, different fighting abilities. He got way better in between Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. Like, in Yu Yu Hakusho, the power system was kind of simple. It was just, like, spirit energy, demon energy, and sacred armor. And, like, he had not thought of the concept of, like, aura output and aura capacity yet. Like, they were fighting with aura, though. Like, if you read the manga for Yu Yu Hakusho, it talks about, like, demon aura, human aura, and, like, spirit armor or whatever. But it, like, all was aura. As I speak about aura, Momo's trying to battle me. You love the recent chapters with Morena? That's good, bro. I think she has interesting powers. And I think she had there was like a line of dialogue in there talking about how like specialists kind of break the rules of Nen. So that's kind of gives us more lore about specialists, you know. Do you guys think Jing might be a specialist? Aura like Duke Dennis. Pretty much. Akhtar, you said, and parasitic Nen Beast is legit peak. I mean, I hope Sarid Nich survives his two beasts. Yeah, he's an interesting case. His second beast, I think he spawned out of just raw talent, but his first one came from the ritual. But you know, before this, I was reading some Hunter x Hunter chapters, like just reading the intro chapters again. Momo, would you relax? Dang, what are you doing? She is honestly so wild sometimes, bro. She's like scratching on my bed, like right next to the mic. I might have to just put her in a different room, bro. But I was reading the intro arcs of Hunter x Hunter again. I do this from time to time, bro. Just go back and just read the early stuff. Like, there's just a lot of really cool stuff in Hunter x Hunter, pretty much all throughout it. I can show you something that I know. Here, hold on. Let me put Momo in a different room. She's crashing out. Give me 1 second. All right. I've returned. Momo's just very playful. I just put her in a different room. But this is something I was reading right before the stream started. Chapter 9, I think. Chat, have any of you guys checked out Toriko yet? Toriko is insanely good, bro. I might have to go ahead and start a reread of that. Was it this chapter? Oh no, it was actually, I think it was actually chapter 10. This is like after well, here's actually something I noticed. In this scene here, Hisoka's like kind of pretending to be a examiner. He's testing the different people to see if there's anyone there that like has potential in his opinion. And there's this scene like he's just killing a bunch of people. And then there's this scene with Leorio, Kurapika, and then this normal dude. Kurapika and the normal dude, well, all three of them run away, but Leorio like comes back and is like, actually, nah, I'd rather throw hands. And Hisoka's about to kill him, and then Gon smacks him in the head. Like, Gon's the only one in this whole group that like lands an attack on him. But then after that, Leorio gets one shot, and Hisoka has this line of dialogue saying that like Gon has the potential to be a good hunter, and then so does Leorio. Like, yeah, that's why he said he's alive and he passed. So Leorio actually does have like pretty good potential. Jing has a line of dialogue saying that too. Jing has a line of dialogue saying that he says it in the election arc. He's like, out of everything I saw here, Leorio made it all worth it. He's going to be like very, well, he said he has great potential. Jing says that about Leorio, which is pretty interesting. But I don't know if we're ever actually going to get to see Leorio do anything. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I don't know if we're ever gonna get to see Leorio actually do anything in the manga. Like, he's in the Succession War, but like ever since joining this arc, Leorio has actually gotten 0 screen time. Leorio is the GOAT. I wonder if I could find the chapter where Jing says that. It's like such an obscure chapter. It's that chapter where Jing talks to Cheadle. Hold on, let me Google it. Let me Google it on my phone and see if I can pull that up. Sometimes Google just gives you terrible, like everything wrong, but sometimes it gets it right. Let me see. What chapter does Jing talk to Cheadle? It's not 334. It's just giving me completely wrong. Gosh, bro. What? I don't think this is right. Oh, wait, no, maybe this one is right. It says 331. Is this right? Oh yeah, maybe this is right. Okay, I think it was chat. Yeah, it's right here, chat. Look at that. Look at this. What do you know? Google actually got it right. Leorio is the GOAT, bro. Look at this side. Look at what Jing says here. Jing is like, hold on, let's see. So he's saying that Jing's about to leave, and this is just Jing being like a typical actual deadbeat scumbag. And she's like, you're leaving tomorrow, what about seeing your son? And he's just trying to leave without seeing him, pretty much. And then he's like, we know what'll happen, I've had my fun. Meeting Leorio was the most worthwhile part. Guy's got huge potential. That's pretty wild for Jing to say that. But honestly, it's like the more I like pay attention to Jing's character, the more annoying he gets to me, bro. Like, why does he go so, like, why does he put so much effort into just never seeing Gon? Gon has to literally hunt him down. Also, someone had said this in my comments before, but, like, I think the reason it's called Hunter x Hunter is because Gon is hunting another hunter. Like, Gon is a hunter hunting down Jing. Like, he's the hunt. Like, if Gon had a title, you know how there's like gourmet hunters and different kind of hunters. Gon would be the hunter because he's actually just hunting down a hunter. Or you could just say Gon and Killua are the two hunters. Gekido, nah, Gon was dying and bro really said, no, you're right, dude. He's crazy. Honestly, Jing is, that's why I put him in the pinnacle of deadbeat tier in that Jing is a deadbeat video. He's just kind of a scumbag. What's your opinion on Don Freaks? He's an interesting character. I wish we got to see more of him, bro. I wish we got to see more of him, actually. Well, I mean, we haven't even seen what he looks like. The only, like, drawings of Don Freaks are just, like, fan drawings of him. Anyone in chat peep Toriko, though, bro? Like, when I get, like, annoyed about the lack of chapters in Hunter x Hunter, that's usually when I go to Toriko and just, like, read the Gourmet World arc and just pretend it's the Dark Continent. Some different coping techniques I've developed over the years. Jing is somehow worse than Yasop. He kind of is, bro, because at least, like, Usopp wasn't straight up dying, and, like, also, Usopp's not even trying to find Yasop. Usopp's not trying to find Yasop. Like, Usopp's just fine living his own life. Doesn't really care. But, like, I don't know. They also just live in, like, different times. They live, like, I mean, Yasop is an inexcusable deadbeat. Let me just be completely honest. But, in the One Piece world, it's like, you don't really expect pirates to be good fathers. But, because they're literally criminals, you know? They're literally just scumbag criminals. That's, like, what they're supposed to be. It's just scumbags, all of them, technically. But, yeah, I mean, Yasop truly is a deadbeat. There's not that many, like, parents in the One Piece story. There's a few that are just, like, excellent parents, though, like Kuma, obviously, but... Akhtar, you said you just started One Piece on chapter 50. It's pretty peak, bro. You, like, I'm happy to hear that you're enjoying it, man. One Piece is just, like, a storytelling-based manga. You just have to appreciate it for the storytelling, bro. You gotta appreciate it for the storytelling. Gecko, Power Scale, Chainsaw Man? I actually, so I read all of Chainsaw Man in one singular day. Like, but I read it back when it only had 100 chapters. I don't know how many it has now. But I remember, like, I found Chainsaw Man, sat there, and it was a Saturday morning. And I, like, woke up at, like, 8. And I just started reading it first thing in the morning. And by the time I finished all the chapters that were available, it was, like, 6 p.m. So I spent the whole day just crunching it, and it had been years since I had binged a manga like that. Like, it made me feel like a child again, just like, because the last time I binged a manga like that, like, let me think, bro, like, because that's one of the best feelings, like, with manga reading, in my opinion, is when you find a manga that, like, has you so entertained that you just actually want to binge it. It's been a minute since I've experienced that. Because, when was that, bro? You said it's 200 plus now, so that was, like, it had to be 2 years ago. Because I remember, like, I read all of it, and I got lucky because part 1 had just finished, and there was, like, maybe 1 or 2 chapters after part 1. So I read all of part 1 in one sitting. Fire Punch? I haven't heard of Fire Punch. What's that? Fire Punch. I've never heard of that. It's by the same author as Chainsaw Man? Is it a... So it's a new manga? Wait, so does that mean he's writing... He's writing 2 manga at once. Or is the author of Chainsaw Man a guy or a girl? Who's stronger, Kurapika versus Feitan? Well, I think Feitan is a stronger character in terms of like speed, probably probably faster, and Pain Packer is like more powerful than anything in Kurapika's kit. But Kurapika's designed to beat any spider. Like, I don't think there's any spider that beats Kurapika in a 1v1. Even Chrollo's probably gonna lose. Well, even that's debatable, but it's like the chain jail is actually just fundamentally insane. Like, if he just wraps you in those chains, it's literally over. There's nothing you can do. Uvogen couldn't break out of it. And that technique that he used on Uvogen, that would probably, I mean, that, it's just smart, you know? He's just boxing you with his Emperor Time abilities, and he's like throwing all these crazy chains at you. If you get hit by any of them, you get one shot. And then all the while, he has invisible chains that if he wraps them around you, you're cooked. He's just really designed to take out the Phantom Troupe. Is Gyro going to the DC? I don't know, actually. I need to like read through all the chapters to see if Gyro's even mentioned. He's someone who's like kind of hidden away in the manga, kind of like Where's Waldo type beat. He's supposed to have some kind of parallel with Gon. Also, yeah, Kurapika literally did capture Chrollo during the York New arc, so I think like a more powerful Chrollo is just, he could still do it, especially with a plan. And he wouldn't fight Chrollo without a plan. He probably already has like dozens of plans designed specifically for Chrollo, bro. And Kurapika flawlessly executed a plan to capture Chrollo in York New. Like, he literally just won. It was crazy. Yeah, true. Honestly, true. So yeah, so the author of Chainsaw Man is writing 2 manga at once? That's pretty nuts. That's actually pretty nuts. I low-key want to look at like another Toriko scene, bro. I haven't looked at that manga in so long, bro. Toriko it just has a special place in my heart. I remember when I first read it, it's just like, that was another one that I binged. And like the pseudo-science explanations to things mid-fight are just very entertaining to me. Evade, you said any manga you reading or want to pick up? So I'm reading King and Ashura right now. I need to continue reading that. I think I'm about on chapter 70. I've just been taking my time with that one though. Just kind of been enjoying it. I like it, but it doesn't like compel me to binge it yet. It's just like, just people punching each other. Nothing in it that makes me want to binge it yet. But I hear good things about it, so I'm just taking my time with it. There's a couple other manga out there that I want to read. Like, I want to read like all of the classics that are considered like masterpieces. Like, I want to read or watch Monster. Another one is 21. I think it's called 21 Century Boys or 20th Century Boys. I hear that those two are like considered some of the greats. Oh, I want to read Kingdom as well. I want to read Kingdom. Because I hear Kingdom is like one of the greatest manga ever written as well. So I want to read that. Mac33, Toriko has the best world building and Toriko power scaling is insane. They're all universal at the end, LMAO. Yeah, the power scaling does get absolutely ridiculous. And the thing I like about Toriko's power scaling is they actually show you the scale of attacks. Like, it just goes crazy, bro. Like, it just goes crazy. Infra Minds, have you read Vagabond? I haven't read all of it. As a matter of fact, on my birthday a few weeks ago, I picked up some Vagabond manga volumes. That's another one. I just have them sitting on my desk right behind me, actually. Yeah, I picked those up because I wanted to read it. So, like, I was reading it on my phone at first, and I read up to, I think, like, volume 3. And at Barnes & Noble, they only had volume 5 and up. Like, people had picked up the other ones. So I just picked up... Is this volume 5? Hold on, let me look at this. This is actually these are like the omnibuses. So this isn't even just volume 5. This is 3 volumes in one. I have it right here in my hands. Should probably read this thing, bro. I haven't read it yet. But it's Omnibus 5 and Omnibus 6, so I'm not exactly sure what volumes are in this one. But I know it's like a solid like 10 chapters at least ahead of where I was on my phone. But I might just start reading from here anyway, just like to experience reading a manga like in my hands. Also, bro, I bought a box set of all of the Dressrosa saga for One Piece. So I wanted to sit back and just read all of that through, because like the last time I read Dressrosa, I was a kid. Like I was reading it weekly many years ago. So I wanted to just sit down and read all of Dressrosa in one shot. Cryze, you said, oh, Xzilla, what's up, bro? How you doing? Cryze, you said, who is more disappointing group, the Shadow Beast or the Floor Masters? Actually, have we even seen the Floor Masters? I don't know if we ever got to see them. And I think there was like a line of dialogue where like, were Chrollo and Hisoka fighting for the Floor Master title, actually? Let me go and look at chapter 351. I hope you guys do realize for the Hisoka versus Chrollo video, I analyzed every singular piece of dialogue, every singular activity that happens in this fight, everything. It is, this fight is extremely in-depth. Hold on. Yeah, it says this is the Floor Master battle. It's, yeah, has picked for this Floor Master battle here for his first match as Floor Master. His name is Hisoka versus Chrollo. So wait, Hisoka already was a Floor Master. And this is so this means Hisoka like killed the other Floor Master and got his title as Floor Master and then fought Chrollo. Oh, peace out, bro. Miss, thank you for tuning in. In a spin-off movie, we saw them, and by them, Zushi was one. I'm pretty sure Zushi became a Floor Master. I mean, the movie's power scaling is all jacked up, though, because I remember I watched one movie. I forget what it was called. But it has this scene where, like, Netero fights someone called Jed, I think. And like it actually doesn't make sense because this guy beats Netero, but then Gon fights him, and I'm like, bruh, this is some like friendship power up. Like you can clearly tell Togashi didn't write it, you know. Mac333 Toriko power scaling stream, bro. I could do that anytime. I literally love the power scaling in Toriko, and I want to go back and reread it again because it's like I haven't reread it in a minute. And it's just such a fun series, bro. Like, it genuinely is like a dream world. Like, out of any manga I've read, if I could pick one world to actually live in, it would be the Toriko world. 100%. I would want to live in the Toriko world 100%. In my opinion, either the Toriko world or the Dragon Ball Z world. Those are the two most fun universes I've ever seen in fiction, by far. Because in Toriko, you can live to 500 years old, and the more you eat, the stronger you become. And like you can just be a gourmet hunter where you just like they're literally gourmet hunters. That's what they are. I forget what the actual term is in that manga. That literally might be it. I forget what it's called though. But it has so many similarities to Hunter x Hunter. It's nuts, bro. I need to go back and reread that joint. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, that manga's good. Hold on, let me just take a peep at that Toriko greatness for a second. Forgive me, chat. I just forgot how great it was. I'll just look at intro chapters, because I know, like, most of the people here have never read it. Gosh, this manga is so peak, bro. It's just so... It's 10,000 times better than the anime is an abomination. I want to see this chat... Like, one thing I was thinking to myself was when, there's this scene where Toriko fights this robot at the very beginning of the story. Not this one. I think... Was it around here? I don't remember the chapter numbers at all. It's been so many years since I've read this joint. Gosh, there's so much hype stuff. Hold up. The nostalgia's going crazy right now. Bro, like the thing about Toriko, he's just so chill, bro. Like something about Toriko is like he's just insane. He's a true Chad. Like he's just the chillest dude around, and he just does the craziest stuff. And then just like look at his face, bro. He's chill. He's just aura farming every chapter. Toriko aura farms every chapter, and he's not even the biggest aura farmer in this manga. But look at him, just like he busts through this wall that like no one else could break through. He just casually does it, just goes back to smoking on a cigar, walks through it. But there's a scene that I wanted to see here. It wasn't even this scene, but I just got caught up in the aura farming. I wanted to see if this is the chapter I was thinking it is. Yeah, he fights this whole horde of gorillas. But there's one scene in particular I just remembered from my childhood that I just wanted to go back and look at it real quick. Is it this one? Oh yeah, it's this one. Bro, I missed this manga, bro. Oh, it's peak, bro. I forgot how peak it is. Chat, if you guys like Hunter x Hunter, you'll love this. Suff, you said, is that an older manga or newer? This is old, bro. This is an OG classic, bro. And it got the worst anime adaptation I've ever seen. It has so many Hunter x Hunter vibes. It has so many Hunter x Hunter vibes. Like, peep this, chat. So, like, it has Hunter x Hunter. Like, all right, it's the nostalgia just going crazy. Because the last time I read this chapter it was probably 10 years ago. I remember reading this. I was either in high school or like a freshman in college. But, bro, hold up. Oh, I remember this. This is so, I remember this, bro. It's been like 10 years since I've seen this peak. Okay, I'm just absorbing it. All right, so I'll just like briefly analyze, like explaining to you what's happening. So each of these like monstrous gorillas are like 10 times stronger than a normal gorilla. Like they had a line of dialogue at the start of this. They're called the troll. Oh, bro, all the memories. The memories. Okay, hold up. Chat, this manga is very similar to Hunter x Hunter. And I'll try to explain it without freaking out because I just love this manga. So like he's on this mission. I forget what his exact mission is. I think he's here to like defeat the boss of all of these like monstrous gorillas. And there's a line of dialogue where like just one of these gorillas is like multiple times more powerful than a tank. Like someone tried to like kill one of these things with a normal tank, and like it just like decimated it. And then this is a whole horde of them. And Toriko's saying like he doesn't want to kill these guys because he only kills things that he eats. If he's not going to eat it, he doesn't kill it. That's like part of his code. And like Toriko, like at the very start of the manga, he's already a seasoned pro. Like he's a hunter basically. Like they're called hunters. I think they're called hunters. Like they're all gourmet hunters. And Toriko is like near the pinnacle of like normal hunters already. You could consider him like a Zodiac member basically. And he gets this mission, and he's here with Komatsu. Komatsu's the dude on his back. Romeo, oh bro, thank you for the donation, man. Here, I'll read this real quick. You said, thoughts about the Calamity tier rating for Chimera Ants. They are in B tier, but I think they reach the A tier because of ideal conditions like eating Nen users in safer remote locations. My opinion on it is that they actually still are below A tier because like they know that they killed Netero and did not raise the ranking. And then we also saw that humanity has a ranking of A, like around A, I think. I'll actually pull up the rankings and like analyze them more in detail for you guys in a moment. But real quick, I want to just explain this scene here because this is just like a classic one. But like Toriko's on this mission to like defeat the alpha of this like horde of troll kongs, and he doesn't want to kill them. And then he has a flashback to his training here because he has Komatsu on his back. That's like just a normal human being who's like with him on this mission. And like, bro, the narrator is just like the Hunter x Hunter narrator in this joint. Like, look at this. He's like, while the troll kongs attacked aggressively, Toriko dodged with delicate grace. He knew that if he were to move like normal, Komatsu wouldn't be able to hold on to him for even a second. And then Toriko has a flashback to his training when he was growing up. It's like Toriko was reminded of the time he carried away the silk bird's egg, as fragile as a bubble, from the hyena gang. Like, he carried this thing that's like as delicate as a bubble is, while battling like a horde of like monsters. And in his mind, he's like, this is the same thing with Komatsu. And he's like just dodging them all and like paralyzing them. Oh yeah, yeah, he's here for the rainbow fruit. I remember now. He's here for the rainbow fruit. It's like a delicacy that's like in this area. Okay, and this is him just like weaving a whole horde of them. And he's not killing any of them. And then the rain... Oh yeah, and he was like covered in some kind of scent that was masking his intimidation. So like the animals around him weren't sensing him for who he truly was. Then it starts to rain, and then all of the animals just get terrified of him because they can like sense how powerful he actually is. And that's why you see this like demon forming behind him. This is like how the animals are viewing him now that it's raining. And all the animals like start running away. But this is the alpha. The alpha Troll Kong appears. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the alpha Troll Kong. Like the silverback of them all. And bro, look at this, look at this, look at this, chat. I love this part. Snillium, this is just chapter like 6. Like, I'm not spoiling too much, this is intro stuff. But look at this, like this is how the Troll Kongs view Toriko. They're like, hold up. Oh, this is so sick. Look at this, bro. They say like, look at this dialogue. It's like, the reason that Komatsu was able to feel safe, to feel safely distant, was all thanks to the radiance of Toriko's growing aura. And like, this is how all of them are viewing like Toriko. They're like a mouse sitting upon the back of the king of beasts, the lions. He felt free to gaze openly at his surroundings. Oh, and this is how the Troll Kongs are actually viewing him, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this, bro. Like, as he walks by, like, all of them are viewing him like a demon. This is, like, one of my favorite things in the manga. Like, this manga, like, portrays intimidation so perfectly, bro. Like, all of them are just terrified of him. Just, this is how they sense him. And then, look at this. Look at, okay, I remember this scene, like, from when I was a kid, bro. He walks up to the Troll Kong. This is the alpha, like way bigger than all the other ones. He faces him, and then this is his like first meeting with him. He walks up to him, and this dude is like trying to intimidate Toriko. And then it says, straining one's ears. Nothing could be heard but the pelting of the rain. Bro, this is like, it's like he tamed it instantly with just raw intimidation, bro. Like the panel before makes you think that he's trying to scare Toriko. He's literally bowing down. He's bowing down just to his raw aura. This is peak aura farming, bro. And it's chapter 6, bro. It says, the battle ended ever so silently. Bro, the narrator cooks in this manga, bro. The narrator cooks in this manga, bro. If you like the narrator in the Chimera Ant arc, it's like this for every battle, like every interaction, everything. And like they cut like 90% of this stuff out of the anime. It's not even in the anime. Do not watch the anime ever. Ever. Do not watch it ever. It is so trash. And the fights in this are so peak. Neo, this is Toriko, man. And it's like this. Bro, look at him aura farming for no reason. Why are you closing one eye? Why are you closing one eye, bro? He's aura farming for nothing. Like, he's aura farming for nothing. Why did Toriko's anime get canceled? Bro, it's because they changed the whole story. Like, the Toriko anime is a completely different thing than the Toriko manga, bro. Like, they take out, like, 90% of the fights are not even in the anime. They take out all of the blood. They take out, like, all the deaths. Everything is different. They take out, like, a lot of the narrator. It's not even the same, bro. And it got, like, crap animation, too. It's so trash. The manga, it's, like, one of my favorite manga I've ever read. It just has so much aura farm. And, like Toriko has 3 other teammates, and Toriko is not the biggest aura farmer out of his teammates. Like, his teammates are called the 4 Heavenly Demons, I think. And like Coco and Zebra are the 2 that are the biggest aura farmers. Like, when you see Coco and Zebra, you'll be like, oh nah, they're crazy. Anno, that's exactly it. It was like the adaptation was exactly like 4 Kids. How many volumes does Toriko have? Not that many. It it has 300 chapters. Wait, let me see. 396, and I'm not gonna spoil anything big. I just wanted to reminisce over the, like, oh man, it's so peak. Oh yeah, wait, was this the oh, there's so much stuff I forgot about. I wanted to see where this dude right here is Coco, by the way. This dude is an aura farming fiend, bro. I wanted to see like the fight with this robot, if I remembered around where it was. Was it here? Oh yeah, this was a crazy battle too, but this wasn't the one I wanted to see. This is a little too far. I think it was around chapter 25. I'm just reminiscing about the early chapters, bro. Was it this one? Bro, everyone in this manga kind of aura farms, bro. Everyone does. And like, when people start boxing, they do this like animation style where their eyes go white. And people just take like insane attacks and just brush it off like it's nothing, bro. This dude gets shot through the neck. He's just still kind of aura farming through it. This is his... bro, there's so much aura. I forgot about all the aura, bro. I forgot about it. I'm not going to spoil too much, because this manga, it just has so many cool moments in it. So many. I'm going to probably like sit down and just read some of this again tonight. Neo, you said, I wish people would talk about Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Bro, there was a point in time where I actually read a good amount of that. Hold on, let me let Momo back into here. 1 second, chat. Yeah, Katekyo Hitman Reborn was a very unique manga because, like, I remember it was like the first like 20 or 30 chapters just felt like nothing was happening, but it was all kind of like character development, wasn't it? The food pyramid arc goes insane. It does. Yeah, that's Toriko and Zebra going on their mission. There's so much cool stuff in this whole manga, bro. Like, so much. I love this arc here. Momo, how come you don't learn things sometimes, Momo? I like with Momo, like when she starts like battling me midstream, I'll pick her up, push her like out of my room, close the door, and she'll sit out there crying the whole time. I let her back in here and she just immediately starts boxing me again. It's like she didn't learn a single thing. Is Toriko your #1 favorite anime of all time? No, dude. The anime is dirt. The anime is trash. The manga is probably in my top 10. Yeah, the manga is in my top 10. Maybe even top 8. Like, so my favorite manga I've ever read, #1's One Piece, #2's Hunter x Hunter. Then after that, it starts to get like very close. Like, #3 might have to be Berserk. #4 is probably Full Metal Alchemist. #5 might be Toriko. Might be in my top 5. Romeo, oh yeah, I forgot Romeo. I need to pull up the rankings for you, bro. And thank you for another donation. I appreciate that a lot. Here, let me open up the rankings that you wanted me to look at. I think it was on chapter 343, maybe. It was 343 or 344. Let me try 344. Yeah, right here. Okay, so like when you so Thank you for this donation. I'll answer both of yours because you had asked me another one about like the rankings. I'll talk about the rankings for a second too, and then I'll talk about this one. But let me read this. You said, who could realistically beat a threat that is stronger than Meruem? Was Netero truly less equipped than Beyond, Netero, or Jing? They're gonna all die at the Dark Continent unless we see power creep, in my opinion. So I think like the Zodiac working together can handle it. Momo, how come you didn't learn nothing though? Why? I think the Zodiac all working together can defeat like the Zodiac all working together can beat threats stronger than Netero. Good lord, Momo. Jeez. Bro, my cat is wilding out. I might... Oh, just 1 second. I gotta put her out of the room again. I'm gonna answer this in depth. Momo, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'm trying to answer these questions for these nice people, Momo. You gotta chill out. I gotta give them an in-depth answer, Momo. My cat is trying to box me while I'm trying to answer these. Good lord. Okay, sorry, chat. 1 second. Come on. Dude. She's got a lot of personality, bro. Okay, so you were saying, who could realistically beat a threat that's stronger than Meruem? So, I think that the Zodiac all working together can defeat Meruem. I honestly think if you took Jing, Botobai, and Sayu and gave them a plan, those three could kill Meruem. I really think they could. And like there's some dialogue about Beyond where like Mesostone, one of the Zodiac Mesostone was saying that he thought that Netero wanted Beyond to like get angry about not being able to go to the Dark Continent and challenge Netero to a fight and like try to kill him. That you could, if you're highballing Beyond, you can say that like maybe Netero thought that Beyond would be the one-on-one challenge he was always looking for, like a fight to the death that he was always looking for. Could have been his own son. That's a highball interpretation of it. But another thing is like when they get to the Dark Continent, there are ways that they can get stronger. And that's actually part of like why they're going there, is to like find materials that could benefit humanity. So they might find things that just like boost your stats massively. Post Rose Meruem is a different deal though. Like, I mean, there's different ways you could scale it. Like Knuckles saw post Rose Meruem, and I think he had a line of dialogue where he's like, you'd need an entire, did he say an entire state's military to deal with it? He might have said that. What chapter was post Rose Meruem using N? Here, let me look that chapter up. We could read it here. Post Rose Meruem N chapter. What chapter was it? I'm Googling it. What? 310? Let's see if that's correct. Let's see here. So the reason I want to pull this up is like that gives you an idea of like the amount of power that might be able to defeat post Rose Meruem. Was it here where he used N? Google lied to me. Google straight up lied to me. Google just straight up lied, bro. Dang. I thought it was 310. Let's try like 307. Okay, nope, this is Gone versus Pito. Let's try 309. We might be cooked, chat. I don't know what chapter. Does anyone know what chapter where Meruem used N, what that chapter number was? It wasn't 309. Like, did they already knock everybody out? No, Palm is still conscious. Was it 311 maybe? We might be so cooked. Bruh. Does anyone know? I'm trying to find that line of dialogue. Because that like gives us an idea about what the limitations of post-Rose Meruem's power are. Jeez, man, I don't know. Like, okay, let me try another Google search. I'll try, wait, did I try 308? I think I did, right? Oh, no, I didn't. It was right here. Okay. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's right here. So it said, we're gonna need serious military power at the state level. So like in Knuckles' mind, like after, so this was post Rose Meruem flexing his aura. And it's like enough to intimidate Poof and Yuppie as well. Knuckles senses it too, and he says, this is beyond what any of us can deal with. I can't believe it. We're going to need serious military power at the state level. So that's telling you that this is still within the capabilities of what human beings can defeat. And that also like implies that the danger ratings are correct. Let's go back to the danger ratings. 344, I think. The danger ratings right here, where it says the human nation can rank from A- to B+, but the Chimera ants are just B. Like the fact that even post-Rose Meruem is something that they can defeat at the state level with serious military power, like implies that that is correct. Ashura, can we debate this stream? I'm sorry, bro. I'm not really trying to debate tonight, but tomorrow, if I finish the video in time, then I'll do Sanji versus Zoro. I saw a couple other questions. Shoot, wait, I saw someone else. Oh, Neil, you said you want to become a channel member? Thank you, bro. Let me see. Let me walk through it on my phone. Like, let me see if I could figure out how to do it from your perspective. I'm just opening up a new tab on my phone from like incognito so I can see what it would be like if like you weren't me. I'm typing in Lilo's Adventure. Going to my channel. Members only videos, if I click those. So if I click members only videos, that doesn't do it. There's probably like a join button. I know people have done it like during stream before. There might be just like, here, let me see if I watch it from an incognito tab, is there like a join button from there? Oh wait, if I'm on incognito, I can't even do a singular thing. Dude, there's gotta be a simple way to do it. Let me look up Google. Like, there's like a join button somewhere. Oh, it might be on a YouTube video. Like, if you go to a YouTube video, there might be a join button underneath it. Let me see. I might need to test this out on a different laptop. Because, like, are you on your phone, Neo? I should, like, know how to do this, bro. My fault for not just knowing how to do it automatically, man. I'm trying to figure it out for you. Yeah, because it's like a join button somewhere. I'll use my alt account to look. If I go to YouTube, and I need to give a more in-depth answer to Romeo's question too. I will do both. So like, I'm on my alt account right now on a different laptop, and if I go to Lilo's Adventure, let me see if I just click on the stream. Is there a join button underneath? Oh yeah, bro, I figured it out. Okay, so oh wait, you're on your phone. Oh dang it! I just figured out how to do it on the computer. Maybe it's the same way, like underneath, like, so on the live stream on my laptop at least, like if you scroll underneath the live stream, it just, there's a, right next to the subscribe button, there's something that says join, and then you just click that. But if you're on your phone, let me try it on the phone and see if I can figure that out too. Let me try that real quick. I'll switch to my alt, and then I'll click on, oh yeah, it's like a completely different interface. How do you join from here? I click on the YouTube name. Bruh, that is wild. Okay, let me look and see, like, are you using the YouTube app? How to become a member on YouTube app. Bruh, that's so wild. It should be so easy. I'm literally watching a tutorial. I'm trying to figure this out for you, bro. How to do it with a phone. Bruh is wasting so much time in this tutorial, and it's just done so trashily. Yeah, I'm not even sure, bro. It's so wild. Like, if you click on my channel, there should just be a join button up there. I might need to, like, modify my channel so that it appears. That's actually diabolical, bro. Because you would think, like, if you just clicked on a members only video, it would give you an option to do that, but it just doesn't. How did all, like, I wish someone that, like, had became a member, like, is there anyone in the chat who became a member on their phone that knows how to do it on their phone? Because I'm not quite sure how to do it on the phone, to be honest, bro. I'm sorry, Neo, I don't know how to do it. I know how to do it on the laptop, but I don't know how to do it on the phone. Cosmic Cookie said, wait, Eric, you said, if you're on the phone, you have to use Safari or Google Chrome. How do you do it from Safari or Google Chrome? Like, do you have to click on a YouTube video or something? Yeah, I need to put it in the description. You guys are right. Yeah, my fault, Nia. I need to figure out how to do that stuff, bro. Like, how, like, is there a link for membership joining that I could just slap in there? But real quick, I need to finish answering that other guy's question. Yeah, so Romeo, basically my answer, like, to your question is, a state's military, a state's military is enough to defeat, like, post-mortem, not post-mortem, to defeat, what is it, post-Rose Meruem level threats. But the Dark Continent would probably have beasts even stronger than that. So, like, really their only chance of, like, survival, they're going to have to become stronger on the Dark Continent. Like, all of the Zodiac working together might defeat, like, one Meruem level threat, but I don't think they defeat a post-Rose Meruem level threat, all of them working together. I think they're going to have to get stronger with the equipment, with the ingredients that they find on the Dark Continent. And that's kind of like the point of their mission, is to become, like, strong enough to do that. Well, is to find ingredients that are beneficial to mankind and bring them back. But like there's things like longevity rice that like allow people to live to be 300 years old. Also, a theory I had, what if Netero ate some of the longevity rice, just a small amount, and that's why he lived to like 130 plus? You guys you guys are walking them through how to do it? Cuz yeah, on the phone I don't know how to do it on the phone, you know. On the laptop, I know it's just like right next to the subscribe button, there's a join button and you click that. But on the phone, I actually don't know how to do it. Nathan, you said you hit subscribe twice, basically. There's a plus button. You hit that and it shows membership options. It shows that on the phone too. Video Mania, you said you see the join button on your phone, you see it? Oh, there's a 4-part message about Meruem here from Dad. Guy's name is Dad. Said, good evening. First time being able to catch the stream here. Thank you for tuning in, bro. You said, I have a question, and please don't take this as me attempting to undermine your work, more just trying to understand your claims. When you say that 3 Zodiac could defeat Meruem, what exactly are you basing this on? Have any Zodiac showcased any of their NEM proficiency to be able to confidently make a claim like this? I guess what I mean by this is when you see a fight like Meruem versus Netero, you can actually see the scale of destruction caused by their attacks. You see Meruem survive a nuclear blast, etc. What exactly are you basing your Zodiac claim on? Much love, man. So basically just on like the combination of a bunch of different narrative feats, and just using like a medium ball interpretation of the Zodiac. So here, I'll show you what I mean. Like, there's a couple different ways you can scale it. So, so right here in the very beginning, like when the Zodiac are introduced, there's this line of dialogue where it says the Zodiac are 12 top hunters handpicked by the chairman, and they must make themselves available for sparring in Netero's free time. So like they're strong, each of these guys is strong enough to at least spar Netero, which could imply a bunch of different things. Like they might be fighting him while he's using his Hatsu and like able to like hold their own, or they're fighting him just in base Nen abilities, which would mean like they're relative to him in like overall aura. And then like, then you get dialogue like this here with Botobai, this tiger dude, and then Cheadle. Botobai says, I don't understand, why didn't Chairman call on us? Why Morel and Nove? And he's like, I'm with you, we're stronger for all intensive purposes. And Cheadle says, he wanted to hunt in person. So like, when you think about that, like think about what that actually means. It means that if the Zodiac showed up, Netero would not have gotten a chance to fight at all. So like, that's saying, like essentially what Cheadle's saying is like, if they had gone, so like think of it from Cheadle's perspective. Cheadle knows that the Chimera Ants were strong enough that they killed Netero. And Cheadle's still saying, even though this is a threat stronger than Netero, and we've sparred Netero, we know how, we have a good understanding of how powerful he is. If all of us had went instead of Morel and Nove, Netero would not have had to fight at all. So Cheadle's saying from her perspective, the Zodiac could have taken out the Royal Guards and Meruem. So that's one thing. Another thing is like, we know that Jing was a top 5 Nen user many, many years ago. The anime shows top 5 Nen user Jing, and he looks like he's about 20 years old. Like he's around the same age he was when he created Greed Island and battled Razor. And that was like right when Gon was born. So, and Jing is 32 right now. Gon's 12. So it was around age 20, Jing was already a top 5 Nen user, and then has gotten 12 years stronger on top of that. Meanwhile, Netero says himself that he hasn't been the #1 Nen user for over 50 years. Like, there's a real chance that some of these guys have already surpassed him. Okay, it depends on like how you want to scale the Zodiac. If you're using a lowball interpretation, you could say like only Jing is close to him in power. But then there's a couple other things that like make that suspect as well. Because you see this dude Sayu here is willing to just talk trash to Jing and willing to fight Jing as well, even knowing that Jing is a top 5 Nen user. He's like they're just like talking trash to each other like they're gonna fight. He's like insulting Jing, and he's like, you got a death wish, bro. And he's like, go ahead and try it, man. Like he's willing to box Jing himself. And And it's like there's just a few different things you can use to scale the Zodiac pretty high up. But like, also we don't even know what their Hatsu abilities are, but we saw what Sayu's Hatsu ability is. Sayu, if he hits you 3 times, you go blind, deaf, and unable to speak. Just him hitting Meruem twice would make him blind and deaf, right? So imagine a blind and deaf Meruem versus a top 5 level Nen user, and then someone who like thinks that he can fight a top 5 level Nen user. While Netero, we don't even know exactly what rank Netero still is. Okay, so yeah, I mean, those are the reasons why I say they'd be able to beat him. Also, another thing that backs that up is the fact that Morel, Knuckle, and Melioron, just those 3 working together, almost beat Yuppie. And like, if Morel was at full power, they probably would have beaten Yuppie. So it's like, if these people massively weaker than the Royal Guard can beat him, what are you going to do when you have 3 people relative to Netero fighting Meruem? And like, especially if you give them a plan, prep time, stuff like that, that makes a huge difference in battles in Hunter x Hunter. Like, all those things together lead me towards thinking that like, you take the 3 strongest Zodiac, have them all jump a blind and deaf Meruem, they could win. So those are the reasons why. Ashura, you said the Netero they were sparring was far weaker than the pre-trained one. I mean, is there any way to actually prove that, though? Is there any way to prove that he's far weaker? Like, I mean, I could just as easily say, like, the only thing Netero really did was, he charged up Zero Hand. Like, all of his training could have just been him charging up Zero Hand. Because, like, when they say that we see he's preparing for Meruem, he's like meditating on a mountaintop, and then when he fires Zero Hand, the narrator has a flashback saying like Netero was charging this attack up in the mountains and it made Killua run away prior. So like, I could just make the argument that the Netero that fought Meruem was just about the exact same strength as the old man Netero we always saw. The only difference is that he had Zero Hand and that didn't even do anything. You said, what would your take on that be if Meruem was actually bloodlusted from the jump? He was holding back massively against Netero to get information out of him. No, that's true. Like, at the start of their fight, Meruem says, like, battling Netero without trying to kill him is like it's like playing chess without a rook or a bishop. Like, if you play chess without a rook or a bishop and still win, you are massively better than the other person, because those are 2 of the strongest pieces on the puzzle board. Like, if you lowball Meruem, you could just say, the first attack that Meruem landed would have killed him. The first attack that Meruem landed would have killed him. If you highball Meruem, you could say like you could think about it like very logically. In his battle against Netero, he was maneuvering through millions of flawless attack patterns while avoiding hitting Netero in any vital area. So he wasn't hitting him in the head or the chest. So he had to avoid those. So, and was only aiming for like his legs, basically, his leg or his arm. So it's like it limited the number of places he could strike. So basically he would have one-shot him faster. Meruem definitely would have one-shot him, and he would have done it slightly faster than he did like rip off his leg. Ashura said Netero was confirmed to be lying when he said that. No, he wasn't, man. Here, I can go back and show you. He was confirmed to be lying about being on the same tier as Morel and Nove. He wasn't lying about it being 50 years since he was the strongest Nen user. No one ever debunks that. Because like, they go out of their way to say he was lying when he said we're about as strong as he is. He's still stronger than us. They don't go out of their way to say he was lying about it being 50 years since he was the strongest. No one ever says that in the entire manga. And actually, the fact that like all the Zodiac don't really care that Netero got beaten by somebody and they still think they can beat him backs the idea up even further. Like, there's far more evidence that there are people stronger than Netero than there is evidence that Netero was the strongest. Also, there's this line of dialogue here too. Hold up. Let me show you guys this. Hold up. All right, like right here. This is Pariston saying Chairman Netero was too powerful. He never understood the weaker hunters. The same goes for all of you. This is Pariston himself putting these guys in a similar tier as Netero. This also exists. I don't know why people like to just pretend this line of dialogue didn't happen, but it's right here. So this is something. This is Pariston straight up saying, like, you guys are all like relative to that man. And then we can go back and look at the scene Ashura was talking about. I think it was chapter like 202 or 201 maybe. Yeah, it was right here. It's the next one. So like you have to pay attention to every statement he says here. So like he says, it's been more than half a century since I was the most powerful Nen user. You two and I are probably evenly matched at this point. And then he says he's less than half his prime. Okay, so that's three different statements. One statement is that it was more than 50 years since he was the most powerful. Another statement is that he's evenly matched with Morel and Nove. And then the third statement is that he's less than half his prime. And then Morel and Nove say that only this statement, you two and I are probably evenly matched, that's the only one that's false. The other two are never proven false. Thanks, Neo. Yeah, sorry I don't know how to find it like on the computer, I mean on the phone. Is there anyone here who's ever become a member on the phone and like knows how to do that, like to help Neo out? Because I'm really not sure. Yeah, you're saying you're a person that needs to see rock solid foundation with any argument. We'll love to have a discussion sometime, as there's a lot I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Hunter x Hunter is an unfinished series, so at the end of the day, like, these are narrative arguments just based on, like, what the series has shown us. But there's just a lot of things that back up this idea, especially when you look at, like, the entire story of Hunter x Hunter as a whole. Like, for example, you see Gon defeats Genthru, right? Genthru was stated to be, like, significantly stronger than Gon was. But Gon was still able to beat him with a plan. And if you pay close attention, actually, the moment Gon starts using a plan, he doesn't take any more damage from Genthru the rest of the fight, even though Genthru is stronger than Gon is. Genthru is stronger than Killua is too. That's actually just like word for word stated. Okay, so wait, Eric, you said you have. Yeah, would you be able to walk him through how to do that, Eric? I'd appreciate that, bro. Yeah, because I'm not sure what the step-by-step instructions are for doing that on the phone. Yeah, sorry that I don't know the exact steps. But anyway, it's like there's multiple like pieces of evidence throughout the story that show that. And I would, like, when you're discussing something that like hasn't been, we're discussing a manga that's not finished, right? So at the end of the day, you have to use arguments and say, like, what argument has more evidence? I would make the argument that the idea that the Zodiac can defeat beings stronger than Netero, that has, in my opinion, that has more evidence than saying that they couldn't. Just based off of everything we've seen, like how plans work in Hunter x Hunter, how you can use plans to defeat people stronger than yourself. How like comboing Hatsu abilities together is extremely powerful. Like another example, if you just take Nove, if you take just Nove, you combine Nove with Melioron, he could probably kill Meruem, bro. Like this dude Nove, like that's something people don't really talk about, but like he can make he can just erase people's heads with his ability. I've mentioned it in the stream before. I think the genuine reason why Togashi removed him from the Chimera Antark, like the Palace invasion, is because he's a little bit too broken. He's a little bit too broken. Like, imagine them just having Nove go invisible instead of Knuckle, and him just erasing Meruem's head while he's not, like, expecting anything. Like, could Meruem just tank that? I don't know if Meruem could tank that, especially since there's some dialogue from Melioron saying that he thinks that even Gon charging up Rock could do, like, serious damage to Meruem if his guard's all the way down and he's not expecting it. Like, I think Nove really could have done some serious damage to Meruem with his just erasing people's limbs ability. So, I mean, like, another way to put it is I would say that I'm using more of a medium to high ball interpretation of the Zodiac, and you guys are using, like, the lowest low ball interpretation. And then you just have to, like, discuss, like, what is more likely. Like, why would Jing be a top 5 Nen user if he's, like, a top 5 Nen user, like, 12 years in the past, planning on going to the Dark Continent, knowing more about the Dark Continent than anyone else? Like, Jing actually knew... So here's another thing, bro. Jing knows that Prime Netero went to the Dark Continent, and it was still too powerful for him, yet Jing still wants to go. Like, there's just a lot of narrative... elements that imply, like, Jing is an absolute monster, and then people like Sayu are okay with boxing him. Botobai is a triple star terrorist hunter. To achieve that, you have to, like, do some insane feats. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of, and then when you talk about, like, how powerful combining Hxh abilities are together, how powerful planning is together, you can make, like, teams of Zodiac members defeat some very strong people, especially when you look at just, like, Morel, Melioron, and Knuckle working together almost killed a Royal Guard, and they had a 10th of the Royal Guard's aura. A 10th of the Royal Guard's aura, and they still were almost able to kill one. Just by using a plan and combining Hxh abilities. Like, imagine what the Zodiac could do when the Zodiac are all stated to be stronger than Morel and Nove. Codename Zero, you said those are some good points. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, what I would want, I'd want to see some more solid evidence that, like, that Netero from here is massively weaker than the Netero from who was at the palace. Because, like, when Netero gets his aura read by Cult, they say, like, Netero wears this suit when he's getting ready for, like, a truly serious battle. I think it was something like that. And he was still stated to be weaker than Pito. I think, like, if people want to say that Netero is, like, a lot stronger at the palace, like, I'd like to see some evidence for that. You said read a bit further. What does Morel debunk? I skipped a bunch of your points. What points did I skip? Oh no, that wasn't a page further. That was, like, on the same page. This is Nove saying, stronger than you, Chairman, surely you jest. If that were true, there'd be no hunter in the world who could stand a chance. And then this is Netero saying, no, it's been more than half a century since I was the most powerful Nen user. And like I said, these are 3 different statements. It's one statement is that he's the most powerful Nen user. The other statement is that we're about the same strength. And then the third statement is that he's less than half his prime. The only one that Morel and Nove say is false is the one on the left here, that we're about evenly matched. Because afterwards, Nove was like, you do realize Netero was just being nice. He's still stronger than we are. But he doesn't say, you do realize that Netero actually still is the strongest Nen user. And you do realize that Netero still is the same strength as his prime. Nove does not say that. Oh, Neo, you figured it out, bro? W. Yeah, how were you able to do that? I'm sorry I didn't know how to do that. I'm happy you figured it out. I'm sorry I didn't know how to do it. But thank you for becoming a member, Neo. I appreciate that, bro. Basically, Billy, you said, Lilo, who's your favorite Pokemon? Bro, I actually am not up to date with a Pokemon game. I haven't watched Pokemon or played a Pokemon game in many, many, many years. But, if I had to pick a singular one, it might be Blastoise. Blastoise is pretty chill. Just like a gigantic turtle with water powers. That's kind of cool. Wait, that is Blastoise, right? The water, like the evolved Squirtle, full power. Either him or Charizard. Those two are some OGs. Anno, you said, worth noting, what Netero specifically said no to was that there's nobody in the world who stands a chance against Pito, meaning there's at least one dude he thinks who could beat Pito. I mean, true. Oh, wait. He actually says, like, this is just a laugh sound. I thought that said no, but this is actually, like, H-O laughing. But also, like, when it comes to stuff like this, I'd also like to look at the anime translation in Crunchyroll. Like the sub translation. Assure, you said there's a statement from Netero saying he doesn't remember the last time he lost a fight. He just got used to people bowing in defeat. I think he was saying, like, he doesn't remember when was the last time he, like, took the initial strike himself. That was right at the start of Netero versus Meruem. Might have been like... This is hard to find. Here, hold on. I do have like some of the chapter numbers written down in a notepad. Let me see if I can find that one. Maybe it's 292. This is them after they've been fighting for a while. Maybe it was 291. Yeah. So it's this chapter. This was the scene you were talking about. Netero leapt. And he said, when did I start waiting for my opponent to make the first move? This was when Netero was in his prime, just at like the pinnacle of the verse. But in this situation, he's not waiting for Meruem to make the first move. Netero's making the first move. Win indeed. He said, it became a routine. The loser held out his hand in gratitude for the lesson. But this is prime Netero. This isn't like a picture of like old man Netero doing this. Well, I mean, he is old still, but this is like 60-year-old Netero. Still jacked. In his prime. He said, I dreamed of giving my heart and soul to battle an unstoppable adversary. But it seems like Netero's goal was to battle to the death. And like you could say that, like here's a couple different things you could say. Maybe there's hunters that are stronger than him, but just didn't want to kill Netero in a fight, so they wouldn't give him a fight he wanted. Or there could be hunters that were stronger than Netero that just didn't want to fight him. So that's not really the same thing as like battling someone like Meruem. But I think like if you wanna make an argument that even old man Netero is still at the pinnacle of the verse, this is probably your best bet using this line of dialogue, that he dreamed of giving his heart and soul to battle an unstoppable adversary, but like just couldn't find that. But here's a couple other things to consider. When he was at the Dark Continent, he saw beings that were stronger than he was and ran away from them. So it's like just being stronger than Netero isn't the only prerequisite. It's like it needs to be a specific kind of fight he wants. Because Netero was not the strongest being at the Dark Continent. You said, Lilo, I know you're working on the Hisoka versus Chrollo vid, but I've been evaluating the fight and think Chrollo cheated with Machi in the crowd assisting. He thinks he has a fishing pole. Oh yeah, there is a line of dialogue where he thinks that Chrollo used a fishing pole. Or Chrollo could have just had a fishing pole on him of some kind, but there is a chance that the Phantom Troupe members were helping him out in that battle. There is a real chance. Well, the biggest thing that suggests that is something that I was analyzing in the fight. Like here, I can pull it up for you guys. I talked about this in a previous stream before too. Nope, it's before this. It's before this. I think it's like 354. Or maybe it's later. Oh nope, it's the next chapter, right? This fight is insanely good. It's one of my favorite fights in all of manga. Yeah, it's right here. So I can explain to you. Okay, so like during the battle, this is like the most complex part of the fight. During this fight, what Hisoka initially thought Chrollo was doing, I'll just simplify it. I won't read through all of it. What Hisoka initially thought Chrollo was doing was like going into the crowd, making clones of people, and then making the clones like attack Hisoka. But what Hisoka realized was like he wasn't just doing that. He was making clones of people and putting the sun and moon like mark on the clones and then sending the clones at Hisoka. And like adding the sun and moon clone takes more time. It adds like 5 seconds to every single clone that he makes. So like Hisoka's initial estimate of how many clones he thought that Hisoka's initial estimate of how many clones he thought Chrollo made was like 50. He was like, at Chrollo's speed, he probably made about 50 clones to attack me. But halfway through the battle, Hisoka realizes, oh, he's not just making clones. He's making clones, turning them into bombs, and then sending them at me. And like to put a full power bomb on each one of these clones, that adds 5 seconds to every single clone generation. So instead of making 50 clones, maybe he made 20 or 30. That's what Hisoka's saying right here. And so Hisoka's like, and like Chrollo's hiding. He doesn't know where Chrollo is right now. And in Hisoka's mind, he's like, okay, I'm not going to get attacked by like 50 clones. I'm going to get attacked by like 20 or 30. And then Hisoka has this analysis too. He's like, but if I take too long to find him, he'll keep making new puppets at a pace of 1 every couple seconds. And he's looking for Chrollo, and then all of a sudden he's attacked by hundreds. He's attacked by hundreds. And like this is that the announcer says like a riot of hundreds is attacking Hisoka. So this pretty much confirms like Chrollo did cheat in a way. Like the only way that this is possible is if Chrollo made the puppets before the fight started. And like there's a couple pieces of dialogue throughout the battle that imply that there were already puppets in the audience before the fight started. Like as the fight's going on and there's like mass chaos in the stands, Hisoka has a line of dialogue. He's like, there's like a group of audience members over there that's being like suspiciously calm even in all this chaos. And it's implied that those were like puppets that Chrollo had like placed there in the beginning. But yeah, like Chrollo most likely set up hundreds of puppets before the fight even started. Ashura, you said he never says that. He said strength wasn't as important, bro. It's like the strongest being if dropped in the desert. How does strength matter there? Wait, what are you referring to, Ashura? With something with Netero? Eric, you said this was Hisoka's misread. He made clones that didn't have bombs too, so the math would be off to start. Well, no, the thing is, so like in the beginning though, before Hisoka knew about them being turned into bombs, he said at most he would have 50. Like let me see if I let me see if I can find that line of dialogue for you. Because like Hisoka made a prediction at first saying if like he didn't even know that he was making them into bombs. So he was like, at max there would be 50. Let me see if I can find it. Is it here? This might take me a little bit to find the exact one. But he has a line of dialogue saying he thinks that there would be 50 if there's no bombs. And then he says, but with bombs, it would be 20 or 30. Shoot. Here, I'll look through. I'll find it on my phone so that way I don't get like a copyright claim, because it'll take me. I'll have to like scroll through the chapters. It's around here though. Just give me 1 second. I will find it for you. Because I remember reading that when I was analyzing it. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it. I'm just looking through the chapters on my phone to find it, so that way I don't have to scroll through the entire fight and like get copyrighted. This is a crazy fight, by the way. Let me find the exact chapter for you. So maybe it's around 353. Maybe it's around here. Like at the start of their battle here, the first horde that attacks Hisoka is 30. Yeah, this is the first horde that's attacking Hisoka is 30 puppets, and Hisoka kills all of these ones. But I'm trying to find the line of dialogue where he says he thinks he made about 50 more. Or made 50 in total. I'll find it. Maybe it was on the chapter before this. This is like, this might be my favorite fight in Hunter x Hunter, by the way. I think it is. I might like this fight more than Netero versus Meruem, because it's just like geniusly written. Truly genius. Might be the chapter right before this. Or was it at the very start of 353? And this whole fight, Hisoka only lands 2 attacks on Chrollo, by the way. I gotta find the line of dialogue now. Because I remember writing it and I wrote that in my notes specifically. I just gotta keep looking. Give me 1 second, chat. I will find this. Okay, I'm looking through chapter 354 now. Let me see if it's over here. And I love like how Hisoka, like, you get to see Hisoka's battle IQ is insane. Like, he's figuring out things so fast. Oh, I found it. Oh, yeah. I just found it, chat. I just found it. So it's 354. I love this part of the fight too. This is like Hisoka thinking of like multiple plans at once, like, but I kind of want to save some of that analysis for the video that I made. But like this is Hisoka, like this is his mindset, like not knowing about Chrollo turning the puppets into bombs. And this is what Hisoka says. He says, there may be as many as 50 more puppets remaining. There may be as many as 50 more puppets remaining. This is before Hisoka knows about the step of him turning them into bombs, because like Chrollo wasn't doing that with, sorry, Chrollo didn't do that with the first horde. But then after he battles one that was turned into a bomb, that's when Hisoka like makes an adjustment. Was it here? Yeah. That's where Hisoka makes an adjustment to his number. Like when he fights one that is a bomb, he's like, the number changes. He's like, okay, with that additional step of Sun and Moon turning them into bombs, the number of puppets should be fewer than my initial calculations. His initial calculation was 50. So he's like maybe 20 to 30. But then it's hundreds. And like the battle IQ stuff that Hisoka's figuring out throughout the fight, he was accurate with pretty much everything else. It doesn't really make sense for him to suddenly be off by like hundreds. It seems like Chrollo set up the puppets ahead of time. Chris, you said Kurapika and Shalnark were helping Chrollo. This collaboration theory is extremely famous in the Japanese fandom. I think well, the reason I don't think it was them helping is because like the way Chrollo's abilities work is if you take the Hxh ability, then the initial user can't do anything with it. I think Machi helping is possible because Machi would still have her power. But like, yeah, it definitely seems like Chrollo set up like hundreds of puppets before the fight even started, and might have given them instructions of like cheer during the fight, something like that. And then when Chrollo hid into the stands, he put the stamp mark on like all the 100 puppets, and then he orders them to break Hisoka. That's what I think actually happened. Eric, you said you completely agree it was set up for sure. Yeah, that's what I think too. Because I don't see how else Hisoka's... I mean, Hisoka thought there'd be 20 to 30, but then there's hundreds. Even his initial calculation of 50 is off by a lot. And Hisoka's basing his initial calculation of 50 based on what he just saw Chrollo do with how fast he made like 30 of them. So that's also telling you that the fight is happening like very fast, by the way, too. Like Hisoka's getting attacked by 30 puppets, and I think he decimates them all like within just seconds. I don't think it even took him like a full minute. Oh, Chris, you're saying you think Chrollo returned their abilities mid-fight? That's like, it's possible. So like the thing though is that is something I didn't think about. If he gave their abilities back to them mid-fight, and then... So, like, the only thing I'm thinking is there's a moment in the fight where somebody speaks into the microphone and says, break Hisoka, and that's the command that commands hundreds of puppets to attack him. But I don't think we get to see the face of the person who says that command. So maybe it was Shalnark doing it. That's possible. Nick, you said, did I see your earlier comment? I did not see your earlier comment. Well, let me scroll up. You said, because black voice is never used to give vocal commands by Shalnark. Oh, wait, hold on. There's one above it. You said, I also think Chrollo cheated. The key things, I think, are 1, the estimation of 20 to 30 being hundreds, and 2, the implication Chrollo is using a fishing rod, 3, using black voice to speak. I need to look back at like how black voice was used. Because I know black voice can give complex commands, but the stamp gives like simple commands. But it's just such a fascinating fight. But like the idea of him giving their abilities back mid-fight is very interesting. I never thought about that. But then I wonder, like, why do that though? Why not just keep them all himself? Because like, what could Shalnark and Kurapika do that like Chrollo couldn't? Because Chrollo was hiding in the stands during this time too. So maybe something that was happening was like there's a scene where Chrollo is like jumping Hisoka with the clones. Like there's this scene where like Hisoka's fighting 30 of the clones, and Chrollo is like, every time Hisoka drops his guard, Chrollo hits him in a blind spot. Maybe during that moment Chrollo gave the powers back to Shalnark and Kurapika, and then they're just making clone after clone right there. That actually could be true. That actually could be true, bro. Like, I'm gonna see if I can pull that scene up. Was it 3? Yeah, right here. Like during this scene, Like, this is Hisoka fighting off hordes of puppets. And, like, I actually think Hisoka wiped out this whole horde within seconds. But, like, during this scene, this is actually Chrollo fighting Hisoka here. Like, every time Hisoka drops his guard, Chrollo's hitting him. So maybe during this scene, while Chrollo's here, he did give the powers back to Shalnark and Kurapika, and then they're just making the rest of the clones. That's very actually possible, bro. That actually could just be what happened. That could explain why there's hundreds. Because, like, while Hisoka's fighting these guys, right now Kurapika is just making hundreds of clones. That could be what's happening. Chris, you said the most obvious detail is when Chrollo was talking on the bat phone. Black voice had never been portrayed to control people by using voice, only by pushing buttons. Wait, so what do you mean by that? Like, are you saying like he's talking into the phone and you think he's actually talking to Shalnark? Is that what you're saying? Here, let me pull up that scene on my phone because I don't want to show too many more panels of the manga. I don't want to get in trouble. But I'm going to open that up on my phone and look at it. You're saying like when he speaks on the phone, he's actually speaking to Shalnark and Kurapika? I'm trying to find the panel where Chrollo says that. It might be 355. And also, when I look at the scene, where like they speak into the microphone and say "break Hisoka," you don't see who says it. It could be anyone. But you're saying like there's a scene. Oh yeah. You're right. So like, Chrollo is talking on the phone. And I don't think we ever saw Black Voice do that. You do have a good point. He says, yes, now squat. Who is he talking to though? Because none of the puppets ever squat. You do have a good point, bro. Maybe he was talking to the Phantom Troupe members on the phone. But there is a line of dialogue where it says like Black Voice gives complex commands, but the stamp gives simple commands. I don't know if I want to risk showing that because I've already showed a lot of the panels for it. I don't know if I want to risk it or not. Let me see if it just pulls it up right away. You know. Okay, maybe if I just skip all the way to it. Nope. It's risky, chat. But there is a panel where it says that. Where it says like Black Voice gives complex commands and then the stamp ability gives simple ones. That's why he like got them both so they can like mesh together. Gyro, so why did Hisoka wash him so easily after the fight? Yeah, just because Hisoka's on a different level than that guy. Than Shalnark. What if he never even took Shalnark's ability and was just holding the antenna for show? Well, that is an interesting theory, but he does make one clone of the... well, he does control the ref as soon as the fight starts. Like, as soon as the fight starts, he hits the ref with a needle and just, like, controls him immediately. Yeah, Snaily, I'm trying to be careful. Yeah. Nick, you said, can I see your earlier comment? You said, why would he even say squat? It makes no sense within the context of the fight unless something is fishy. Yeah, I don't know who, like, he was probably saying that to someone in the Phantom Troupe so Hisoka wouldn't see them. I think you're right, man. I think you guys might actually be right. I'm probably going to have to add that to the video now, bro. That is a great point. Like, I never even considered the possibility of, like, what if he gave the abilities back mid-fight? That's very fascinating. Wait, you said there's an earlier one? Did you? I see it says, did you see my earlier comment? I'll scroll up a bit more. What was the earlier one? You said because black voice is never used to give vocal commands by Shalnark? By Shalnark? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I read your earlier one too, where you said, like, you also think Chrollo cheated and you gave 3 reasons. Yeah, I read that one. Was that what you meant? You said if you consider the total amount of puppets, it might go up to 400, 500 since we have 200 people surrounding Hisoka and some more detonated around him, and Hisoka destroyed quite a large amount of puppets from start to finish. No, that can you just repeat it, Nick? I'm not sure which one you mean, man. Um, I'm trying to find it, but I don't know exactly which one you mean. Would you be able to like copy and paste it? Um, yeah, sorry, I'm just having trouble finding it. But why take them back? Uh, yeah, I mean, take him. So like the reason why Chrollo giving the powers back mid-fight would be beneficial to him is because like there's a moment in the fight where Chrollo is like jumping Hisoka along with the puppets. So like Hisoka's fighting like a horde of 30 puppets, and like every time Hisoka drops his guard, and Chrollo attacks him from a blind spot, and during that interaction, if he gave the powers back to Shalnark and Kurapika, they can just continually make more puppets in the stands while Hisoka and Chrollo are fighting in the arena. Nick asked if Beanold can beat Canary. Oh yeah, I mean low diff, yeah. Probably even just in her child form, yeah, low diff. Because I think Canary's weaker than Killua. Yeah, so it's either Chrollo made them ahead of time, or while Chrollo was boxing Hisoka, like in the arena, with the 30 puppets all jumping him, then like he gave Shalnark and Kurapika the abilities back during that time, and they were just making more clones. Nick, you said you just repeated it? I don't know where it is, man. Ty, you said, is Gon and Killua still mid-tier hunters? I say, like, I put Killua at the bottom of high tier and Gon at, like, the peak of mid-tier. That's kind of where I put him. Like, I have Killua below Illumi and Hisoka, and then I have Gon, like, he's getting close to Knuckle and Shoot. So like I have like Killua like slightly above Knuckle and Shoot. That's kind of well, it really is debatable. Like they have ways they can beat him, especially Shoot. If he just like flies in the air and waits for Godspeed to run out, Shoot can win for sure. So like I kind of have Killua like above Knuckle, but maybe still below Shoot, like the new evolved Shoot, because like Shoot gets way stronger during the Palace Invasion arc. And then I have like Illumi and Hisoka above that, and then I have Gon like slightly below Knuckle, like a little bit below Knuckle. Is Kite Hisoka level? He's somewhat relative to him. I think Kite's slightly stronger than Knuckle and Shoot, but it's debatable if he's stronger than Morel as well. I also have Killua below Morel too, by the way. Killua can Thunderbolt shoot out of the air, but Thunderbolt does take time to charge up though. And like the only time Killua's ever hit anyone with a Thunderbolt was when they were getting jumped. He never 1v1 anyone's. He never 1v1s anyone with it. But alright guys, I think that's enough for tonight's stream. That was a pretty good yap sesh. I mean, I could also just yap about like general things like just jiu-jitsu and stuff. Bro, I'm so happy I got my blue belt today. That's actually wild to me. I had no intention. I didn't even want to go to jiu-jitsu today. It was not in my plans at all. Here, let me let Momo back in here. Hold on. Oh, snap. Hold up, my laptop's dying. I need to plug it in. 1 second. I gotta plug my laptop in. All right, we're good. We're good. Okay, 1 second. I'm all. All right. But we could just do a general yapping now. Hold up. You guys see well, I don't know if anyone would even watch that, but UFC created a jiu-jitsu thing, and in my opinion, it's kind of trash. It's kind of trash, bro. But you know what? I think this is a good stopping point for the stream. This was a pretty fun one. I'm gonna try and get the Gone is Overpowered video posted on Thursday. Like, I need to post more than one video this week. Like, I got Gone is Overpowered, and then I was gonna make another one called Did Gon Lose His Nen? And then I was gonna do a third one, Jing is Overpowered. I want to see if I can get 3 done in 1 week. 3 like not that long videos. Like, Gone is Overpowered will be probably 8 minutes. Jing is Overpowered might be 5. Did Gon Lose His Nen might be 5. I want to see if I can post them all in 1 week. Killua versus York New Kurapika. Killua might be able to win. Oh, Cozy, thank you for the donation, bro. I appreciate that a lot. Who's your top 5 purely in terms of potential? In terms of just humans, either Gon or the 4th Prince is number 1. And then it would be like 4th Prince. Okay, so it's debatable who has more potential between Gon and the 4th Prince. Gon is stated to have bottomless potential. He's like the only human who's stated to have like literally bottomless potential, and it's stated like multiple times. But I would have it go like Gon first. Well, that's debatable. It's either Gon or the 4th Prince. So like, let's just say they're tied for first. Then I would have 2nd place is Killua, 3rd place is Hanzo. I know that Hanzo actually in the beginning is stated to have more potential than Killua, but maybe I'm just being biased, bro. I just like Killua more, so that's why I'm saying that, but that is me being kind of biased. Okay, if I'm taking all bias out, it would probably be 4th Prince. Okay, maybe it's 4th Prince number 1, then Gon number 2, then maybe Hanzo number 3, even though I really don't want to say that. Then Killua number 4. Then number 5 might be Jing. Like that. But if we're adding in like things that are not human, like Meruem's obviously the true number 1. Then probably Pito number 2. Yuppie might actually have more potential than Pito. Just because of like how he can evolve multiple times. So it might go like Meruem number 1, Yuppie number 2, Pito number 3, Poof is probably number 4, then number 5 is probably the 4th Prince. But alright guys, that's everything for this stream, because I got a lot of videos I gotta write. Wait, wouldn't Gon's potential still be greater than Pito? Well, it also depends on like how long do Chimera ants even live. Like, do they have like an ant's lifespan, or like what would it actually be? But no, Pito's potential is insane because Pito was born a Nen master. Like Pito was born with like potentially more, like probably more aura than Netero. Pito could use N for multiple days on end, and then even characters like Zeno can only use N for a short while. Like, well, Zeno states like using N is a tiring technique for him. An interesting parallel is like we see Pito use N for multiple days on end without getting tired, and at that same time, Gon and Killua are like training to the point of passing out over and over just to extend their Ren for 3 hours. Like the difference in like aura between Gon and Killua and Pito is insane. Like they're literally training to the point of passing out just to maintain Ren for 3 hours. Meanwhile, Pito, just born, is maintaining a stronger technique than Ren and maintaining it for days without breaking a sweat. Like the difference in aura is like so many magnitudes different, and that's newborn Pito. If Pito could live like a full human lifespan of 100 years, like the aura Pito could develop would just be like ridiculous, bro. Mo, you said, what differentiates Gon and Fourth Prince potential is the fighting potential and fighting IQ, especially enraged. Yeah, and I mean, legitimately, Gon does have better potential statements. He's stated to have bottomless potential. Like, he's the only human with that. No one else gets the statement of, oh, he has bottomless potential. That's insane. He's the only human with that statement. And also, Gon is just, like, superhuman by nature. Meanwhile, the Fourth Prince is more implied to just be like about a normal strength human without Nen. And Gon just is like a fighting genius. Like everything he did in his battle against Hisoka, he's doing that with no fighting training of any kind. No one's ever taught him how to throw a punch. No one's ever taught him any martial arts. No one's ever taught him any assassin techniques, anything like that. That's just pure natural instinct, and he's still skilled enough at throwing hands that he can like do feints and like do like battle plans on the fly and land a hit on Hisoka. That's insane. Codename Zero, you said, I think Killua has more potential than Hanzo because he had the needle in his head when the chart was made. Yeah, that's an argument you could use too. That's very possible too. And also you could just say like Netero was just referring to like Hanzo as a hunter. And Hanzo doesn't have like bottomless potential statements like Gon does. Nick, what did you say? If the ants lived longer, they'd belong in a different series. Yeah, in terms of power scaling, true. That's very true. They would need to be like, honestly, let me think. What's a good verse? They would probably need to just go to Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho can handle them, for sure. Like, even if Pito lived to 100, Pito probably would get still one shot by Yusuke. Yu Yu Hakusho could handle them. Like, if Yusuke went to the Dark Continent, he would just have fun. Like, the previous manga Togashi made, all the characters were just way stronger. So, like, Yusuke is probably, like, stronger than Dawn Freaks is. Like, legitimately. Daniel, full potential Meruem with Nen into Dragon Ball Z. How far does he make it? I actually made that a poll before. I made that a poll saying, like, a 300-year-old Meruem who absorbs all the Dark Continent beasts versus First Form Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Who do you think would win? And everyone's like, dude, there's no way he's beating First Form Frieza. Because First Form Frieza is star level. So Meruem's not reaching that. But, I mean, he might be like a Saiyan Saga Vegeta level guy. Saiyan Saga Vegeta is like multi-planetary. So maybe Meruem could reach that. Like that's kind of like people in the comments were saying like they didn't even know if he'd beat Raditz, and I'm like, I don't know about that. I think he might be like a Saiyan Saga Vegeta level guy at like the most, with like crazy hacks. So he might be able to beat Saiyan Saga Vegeta as long as he doesn't go Great Ape. You should do Hiei versus Zoro. Off the top of my head, they're kind of relative because like. In Yu Yu Hakusho, well, actually, no. Hiei, like, massively outstats in terms of attack potency. Massively. He might, like, one-shot him. But, like, in terms of speed, Hiei dodges light beams, like, in the first arc while he's a D-rank demon, and then he becomes S-class. And S-class are all planetary. And Hiei becomes strong enough to, like, wipe out hordes of S-classes. So he's, like, he could be in the range of multi-planetary. Yeah, No, I was saying Saiyan Saga Vegeta is multi-planetary, not just planetary. You're back, Neo? What's up, bro? But yeah, it's like, because well, it depends on what feats you're using, because like the anime has a scene of King Vegeta, like Vegeta's father, just waving his hand and erasing 3 planets. But like, and normal Vegeta, even as a child, was stronger than that. But there's also a statement in the data books where it's like you need a power level of 10,000 to destroy a planet, and Vegeta had 18,000, something around 18,000. Kaguya is Saiyan Saga Vegeta. Yeah, Kaguya scaling is kind of interesting. We need more Yu Yu Hakusho power scaling for sure. That could be interesting. Momo's back here battling me. But alright, chat, I think I'm going to end this stream. Momo wants me to play with her, so I will. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for the comments, the donations, everything. I appreciate it. Thank you, Neo, for becoming a member, bro. I appreciate that a lot. I got to work on these next videos and get them posted for you guys this week. So I'll see you guys on the next one.